at some questions regarding calculation on the practice. So set up the chart the way it looks in your question, except for add the average marginal revenue for the two that I'm going to do. Okay, so we've got 5 and 10. Fixed costs still 150. 150. Good thing about fixed costs is they're the same. Now, your variable costs increase to $15 after 5, increase of 5, and then they go to 25. Beyond that, so like a fixed cost thing would be, the price of your building or your machine, just things that you can't. If you produce something or don't produce something, you still have to pay for. Variable costs could be labor, could be a whole bunch of different things, electricity, utilities, all sorts of things. So your total costs here are going to be those two combined, right? You've got 165 here, and you've got 175 there. Your average costs, you're going to take your total output, and you're going to divide your total costs. Right, so you're going to take this number and divide it by that number, and you're going to get $33. Your average per unit cost here with 10, right? It's now, you're going to take that number there. I guess you can't see what I just did. You're going to take 175, which is now your total cost. You're going to divide it by 10, right? So you're going to get $17.50 for your average cost. Oops. So to calculate the marginal cost, you're going to have your change in total cost divided by the change in output. Okay, so that's what marginal cost equals. So for this one, right, you have your change in cost, in total cost. So here's your total cost. This was before. So you get 165 minus 150, so that's a change of $15. Right? Your change in output, you went from 0 to 5, so that's 5. Right? So your cost, that would be $3, would be your marginal cost for that one, $3. Now, changing those numbers, for this one, we've got your average costs go from 165, or sorry, your total costs go from 165 to 175, so that's a $10 difference, right? And your input goes to 5 difference, increase of 5, so then you get 10 to 2, so that's $2 for your marginal cost, okay? Now, average revenue, now you take your output and you multiply it by that, so you're going to get your $40 here, and here you're going to get $80. Now your total costs are $165, and you minus off the $40 that you made. I just forget something. Okay, the brackets, by the way, are a negative. You'll see that in accounting and everything. And here we have 75. So 175, and we're going to minus off our revenue we made, and we're still down $95. So we haven't hit the whole profit part yet. These are losses each time because we're not producing enough to make up for this high, right? So far the high thing is the fixed cost because our variable costs aren't very high at all. You can see that our average cost, so cost per unit, is going down, and at the same time is your marginal cost. So if you look on your graph for that, right, you're going to see, so you've, your graph looking like this, you're going to see things like, average cost possibly, and you might have your marginal cost, at some point those things are going to go across. And right now, for both of these two, we're headed down, right? So this would be your average cost, that'd be your marginal cost. At some point, right? The average cost decreases, you produce more just because of the way the math works on that one. And the marginal cost, this is the cost that it is to produce one extra unit. So it falls for a certain amount of time. It may plateau, but eventually it's going to scale up as you outstrip your ability to produce more. It could be because you need to buy another machine. It could be because you need another shift of labor, right? This is how they determine things like how many cars it can produce, so how many shifts do they need of workers, things like that. Okay, so that's the way. Hopefully you can finish out that practice, what do you call these things, chart. And we're going to look at the graphing and everything coming this week. All right, there you go.